with their emotions, and a lot of times your emotions is your guide. Like if you use your emotions and your mind together, you know what I'm saying, you know, in a balance, then you will get so much further than just only thinking about what your mind is telling you. Because your mind by itself is just your ego, and you're not going to get too far just going off ego. But if you use your emotions and your mind together in unison, you know, then you realize it guides you in a way more positive than if you just only are trying to go off of what you think. You know what I'm saying? Your perspective is on life versus.
I mean, emotions are very powerful because emotions have nothing that's tangible. You can't see them, you can't feel them, you can't touch them. Yet they still cause a physical response. You know, you get angry, you might start sweating, you start perspiring. If you get sad, you're gonna cry. There's a physical response to something that has something that's not even intangible. So that tells me that we must control our emotions and know how to manage them, because I think that's how they get most people.
Exactly, and that's why they say it's so important about the way that you think, because your thoughts is what your emotions come from. It's like when you think about it, it's like you're thinking about something that's either making you sad, you're thinking about something that's making you mad, you're thinking about something that's making you happy, and that's what your emotions follow through with your thoughts, and that's why it's so important for you to control what types of things are going in your mind. Like,
it can't be that easy.
You have to. It is very easy, because if you think about it, your thoughts. If you think about it, you have thoughts that are not even your thoughts. It's based on subconscious.
All of your thoughts. Your thoughts aren't you.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? So if it's that easy, then no one would have problems. If you just go and tell everybody,
this is the way that it's supposed to work. You know, it's very like meditation as well. Like if you have a thought that you know is going to affect the way that you feel, consciously you have to be aware that this thought and this is the way that I do not want to feel today. So I am going to change the channel in my mind to a different type of thought. And you have to be consciously aware of your thoughts. If you're not consciously aware of what you're thinking, then you won't even notice that you'll just automatically react off of a thought and you'll feel it. But if you know consciously that, okay, I'm feeling this way. Why am I feeling this way? Okay, I don't want to feel this way. Okay, I need to change my train of thought then. And then you need to focus automatically on something else that may make you either feel better or make you feel how it is that you want to feel in that moment. And then you will have that power. It is hard. You have to practice it like anything else. You have to apply it and try it on a day-to-day basis. But it does work, because I've had to practice that within myself. And when you can control your emotions, that's when you can control your life. When you control your mind, that's when you can control your life and the things going on around you. Because you won't allow someone to just come and say something that just pisses you off. You just automatically react without thinking. You always think before you speak and before you react. And then when you take just 5 seconds of thoughts, you know, to collect yourself before you do something, because you just solely about to react.
Yeah, I heard it's really profitable to do that.
But you know what? Let me tell you this, because the thing about it is, people are struggling out here. They may not look like, because they may have a vehicle, or they may have.
No,
people are losing their homes. People are like really struggling. So I don't think someone would just like, unless they're like on drugs or something and they're really just trying to get a fix. But other than that, most people, they're like really struggling if they're gonna put themselves out there.
I feel like everybody's struggling though. Like they struggle just to pay for gas, they won't eat. Like that makes me feel bad. Like I need to eat. Like you're starving yourself. It makes me feel bad. I don't like that. Like with Carmen, I was like, she was so hungry. I was like, oh my god, just eat something, girl. Like it made me feel so uncomfortable. Like I don't think that's how anybody should live.
I don't know. I think when people get in those type of situations, it's because they refuse to let go of certain things. Like I was watching a TED Talk by some Indian guy, and he said something that was really good. He was like, true happiness is denying yourself simple pleasure. You know, like that pleasure for right now. You have to deny yourself that to get to true happiness. So like, say you're really addicted to cigarettes, you know, but you just don't have the money. So that cigarette is pleasurable at the moment, but you know in the long run you're gonna need that money. So you deny yourself that pleasure for the moment to experience true happiness later. You know, so and the true happiness could be you will be healthier because you're gonna quit smoking and you're gonna save that money. So now you can put gas in your car and feed your kids or whatever. But people don't think like that. They think like, well, I gotta have it. This is gonna satisfy me right now. Yeah, but then when it burns and it's gone, then you're gonna want another one.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like chasing a ghost.
Yes.
And that's my thing. Like coming down here, I've never seen so many. Like when I came down here, I realized like everybody smokes weed now, and I didn't know how much it cost. So hearing the cost of it, like my friend starves, but yet she has money to buy weed. So I look at her and I'm like, you rather not eat just to be high? Like, and I don't want, you know, that's not my place. I don't want to say that, but in the back of my head,
eating disorder or something like that.
no, she doesn't. She's like, believe me, when I can, I eat. I'm like, but she just, her priorities are straight. Like in her mind, she feels like I can't go to sleep without weed. So she rather. But hey, that's her. But I don't say anything to her. But in the back of my mind, that's what I think. Like, oh God, if you just change your perspective, just take that money, then you can feed yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, people need to definitely prioritize. You know what I'm saying? But I do look at the big picture as well too, and it's just really the way society and the economy is set up. It makes people kind of, you know, it just makes people feel like, okay, it's hard, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you think about it, you got people, especially depending on where you're coming from. Like, let's say you're raised in the projects or something like that, and your environment, you didn't really have anybody that taught you these good morals and values and things to prioritize and things like that, and you don't really know any better. You know, you can always get that information, like if you look to aspire to something positive, but a lot of times people don't even know what that is, you know, coming from their environment. So there's a lot of people who have the choice to live a better life, but then there's a lot of people that don't really have the choice because they don't even really know that that's an option for them. Like sometimes, especially when you grow up from being, you know, a child and that's all you grew up, like you had a crackhead for a mom, you know what I'm saying, and all you grew up and all you see is people selling drugs and all. This is the way that people in your neighborhood were successful. And then on top of that, if you look at how society puts that in the limelight, like that's the cool thing to do. Everybody is looking towards the easy way out. Nobody's looking to like really look within themselves, search their inner self and their inner passions, their inner desires to focus on that. They more focus on, okay, how am I going to get this money right now? You know, because they want instant gratification. Nobody sets goals or looks towards the future. They're always looking at, okay, how can I feed myself right now? Or how can I do this? How can I do that? People are like literally struggling. And look at the economy and the, you know, the recession, and it's not getting better. They try to make it seem like, oh, there's more jobs and this and that. It's not. People are struggling and they don't even want to raise the minimum wage.
Wake up, you're going to wake up. And if you're not ready, you're going to stay pretending that you're just a little, poor little me. And since you're all here and engaged in this sort of inquiry and listening to this sort of lecture, I assume that you're all on the process of waking up. Or else you're teasing yourselves with some kind of flirtation with waking up.